you're on stream, so I won't say something bad. uh, do me a favor. Can you go to the Twitch and grab the link for me and post it in the Rec League chat though,
Yes, sir.
so I can. Oh, I need draft links. Draft link, please. Spec
Where should I post it into?
Rec League chat. Do you have the? I don't know if you can add here,
Rec
everybody.
League links. Rec League chat. Boom. At all. Every. I cannot use at everyone.
Okay, I could do it.
Wait, can I do at here though?
Try that.
I can do at here.
All right, cool. Dope.
Who's playing? It's load the kennens.
And sad jellyfish. Good, good, good. I got what I needed. Did they really name them jellyfish? That's crazy. I gotta add you into this too, don't I? Are you on League?
I'm logging in right now.
I'll add you
I
in
had to
a
switch
second.
accounts. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Do we talk for the whole 3-minute spectator delay? Just so I know.
I usually talk a little bit, you know, if we have if we're some stuff to talk about. I'll talk about the drafts and stuff.
All right, cool.
So,
Then I will not go get more wine.
you are welcome to do whatever you want at any point during the stream.
What if I want to do you? No, I'm just kidding.
That's a pushing it. That's a pushing it. Everybody can hear that now. So, and
I am on
thought
league now.
they thought COT was sus. I think this guy is sus.
No, I'm definitely sus. Are you a color or play-by-play kind of guy?
I usually do play by play.
That's perfect. I prefer color.
I invited you. Oh,
Game lobby is full.
can someone move? So Rusty can join. I'm not even really talking about drafts right now. It's funny. It's
Oh,
really
can they hear us? I thought you had us muted.
no. I told you this the whole time.
Uh, I don't know. Anyway, so Drox is looking crazy right now, and everyone can ignore all the things I've said up to this point. A lot of mid lane vans though. Ari, Silas, Vladimir makes a lot of sense. And then
you
the
can
Poppy
join now.
Rakan are great utility champions, so a lot of intelligence in the bans here.
Perfect. Now I can focus on draft. I still can't get over the fact that the whoever made this draft called them jellyfish. That's crazy.
Honestly, it's just a 5 brain. I mean, it's probably a typo because they're next to each other on the keyboard, but it's honestly a 5 brain play to really insult your opponents and get in their head early. You know, you gotta throw them off their game.
Somebody's griefing it. Yeah, I see the Sejuani pick here. I saw you played it the other day, and I've noticed that it's not been doing very well. I don't know if you checked the champ stats. And we're both junglers. So where do we feel about this pick right now? Because I'm starting to feel not as good about Sejuani as I used to feel.
I think that she's still great, honestly. I don't personally love tracking stats because I feel oftentimes people kind of pigeonhole themselves into this is supposed to be good, and so I do that when it like for example with Sejuani, I almost always first build Frostfire Gauntlet. No build online will tell you to do that, but I like it because it works because it gives her the dueling power and the sticky power to just be a monster, right?
Hmm.
And so I think the champion is still great because she has a pretty solid clear, right? And it's pretty healthy because she's tankier. She's got good gank setup, even if she's just alone, because QW autos can proc the knockup and the stun all on her own. She doesn't need another melee. But if there is one like a Renekton or a Sylas, all the easier to get that E stacked up. And she provides great front line. She's good for pick if you want to with your ult. She can be peel. Like she just fits a lot of boxes, and she's a very broadly good jungler. And so I personally still love the champion. I don't think there's any issues with her. I think a lot of times it comes down to a comp thing because she can struggle if there's not like follow up damage, right? Or there's not like a team that's built around kind of. She wants to be in a fight. She can be in a fight for quite a while because she's tanky. But if you have, like with the Ziggs, it's fine. But Ziggs is more of a long range kind of poke and then quick burst, which isn't perfectly in what Sedge wants to do because it's a lot harder to play around that. That is
Ooh,
where like
wait
if
a
she was.
second.
Oh,
As you're speaking, that one I had to cut you off there because that's
sure.
a Cassidon. That's a Cassidon R2 here.
Is that the first Kassadin of the split?
It is not the first, and it is 1-0. It did win that game. So this will be
Okay.
the second. Wow. Okay.
I like it. Cassian's melee. He's a strong scaler, and the Ziggs. I'm now going to assume he's going to go bot lane, which is a pretty safe lane. So now Sejuani can play around her mid lane pretty effectively. And either Hui or Seraphine, neither are especially mobile. So the Sejuani Cassian, especially post 6, can really just hammer home on that lane and just abuse flash timings on whoever ends up in that mid lane.
Yeah, I definitely can see the value in the cast in here as an R3, especially in the two mages. So now the question is, can they draft something around that on the side of said jellyfish? Because I mean,
And Jellyfish,
there are some ways to exploit Cassidy even with the draft so far. You know.
yeah, I mean, you could always just swap this Seraphine Hui both to go bot lane and then put something like the Tristana mid, which I know has a pretty good time into Kassadin, or even the Zed if you feel confident on that matchup. Um, yeah, no, I mean, I think both drafts so far are pretty solid. Jellyfish have a lot of team fighting, the Seraphine into the Jarvan. Both their ults can combo very well into one another. And then the Hui is just a very consistent, strong damage kind of champion in the mid lane, assuming he goes there. And he can be relatively safe just sitting in the back line, which I played Hui for the first time a couple weeks ago. That was a lot more difficult than I expected it to be honest with you.
War initiate. Yeah, what are you talking about, bro? Should be fine for next week. Yeah, who's gonna be fine for next week? I'd like to know now. Please drop
4
the info.
top lane bans in the second ban phase, though. That is, I mean, all good. Camille, Renekton, Aatrox, Mundo, all very solid. A lot of damage, a lot of tankiness amongst those 4. So, makes sense. Rel.
I think top ends are common, especially when you're going against very good top laners, and both these players are very good top laners. So obviously we know all
For
about
sure.
Dippy, what he's done in the past, um, and then
They're
uh,
gonna put Dippy on Malphite duty. That would be interesting.
it's a safe. I feel like it's a. Oh, okay, never mind. Well, they're switching up, but I would say it's a safe blue side pick, right? You
It
know,
is. My thought is always though, like Dippy is clearly one of the stronger players, right? It's the same reason like I don't want our top laner to play Malphite if I can avoid it because he's so good. Like, why would I put him on Malphite when I know he can play very well something that's more carry centric rather than just pressing? Like, if we want someone who can just press R, I can play a Mumu, right? Like, there are other options across the board, and we could put the ADC on Ashe, someone who wants to press R to start a fight. Why would one of your better players in that position instead of allowing them to kind of like take over a game
hmm
essentially? But it looks like they might be going with the Olaf anyway, who does in fact take over games if he plays well.
yeah. My argument for it will always be this: regardless of if you're the best player on the team or the worst player on the team, at some point I think playing a role, playing champion is not a bad thing. It shows your ability to draft around different things. Another thing is Dippy can carry on Malphite. We've seen it. I've seen him carry on Ornn. I've seen him carry on Galio. He can carry on anything that he needs to carry on, even if it's
That's
not a
true.
carry. So it's carrying is different, and you've done that yourself, where you don't necessarily pop off on the damage charts, or maybe the score line isn't as insane, but you do some plays that matter are so impactful that that's how you're carrying. So there's a different
No,
forms of doing
100%.
it.
You can't just look at the box score. Exactly. It definitely depends on. I think the comps here are very interesting. Jellyfish really just want to move forward with Jarvan, Olaf, and Seraphine. Whereas low the kennens, I think they've built a very good, peel slash burst kind of comp. There's a lot of like quick damage to throw out, and then a lot of CC between the Mega Gnar and the Rel and the Ziggs. They can put a lot of stuff down and control an area very well. So I think fights, especially in the jungle or the rivers, can get very messy very quickly with limited space to move around in.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard about Jalen Hurts, but I'm not really worried about that. I hope Jordan Love is back, because as far as I can tell, you are a Packer fan, sir. So I don't think we're too worried about whether Jalen Hurts is in or out.
Jalen Hurts didn't even play this week, did he? They rested everybody against the Giants because they've already locked into the the 2 seed.
Yeah, yeah.
It really comes down to Minnesota and Detroit tonight for the 1 seed.
Yep.
Seems you left your brave
Yeah,
pants
no, my
at home.
Packers, they fell to the
Want me
Bears
to wait
today,
while you
but
go
there were
get
some
them?
injuries, sadly. So
Yeah, what happened to Jordan Love? Because he ruined my parlay, and I'm a little worried about it.
he got his elbow hurt. I don't know how bad or which elbow it is. I'm hoping it's not his throwing elbow.
Yeah.
And then Christian Watson got carted off the field, so he's probably done for the year, if that's the case.
Oof.
Yeah. I'm not
Wait,
mad
if
the
you're
Bears won because, to be honest with you, like I'd rather it come. I'd rather lose to the Bears in a meaningless game when it doesn't matter, and
Mhm.
break the streak because streaks have to get broken at some point, than lose to the Bears when it matters. So now we just go back to beating them endlessly again.
So true, King. Also, War Initiate, if the Packers are your top team, how can you like another NFC team as your second team? That makes no sense.
No, he can.
Mm,
But in this
seems odd.
circumstance, you can't be rooting for the Eagles at all, man. It's not allowed. Packer number one, then.
All right. Okay, it is
Where
the
the
Hui
where do
mid.
the Ravens lock in at, by the way?
We're locked in at the 3. Buffalo's the 2.
Okay.
So I think we play the. I think we play the Steelers actually, because the Broncos are going to go to Buffalo. The Steelers come to us, and then the Chargers go to Houston.
I wish the Chiefs would have played their starters and just won the game, man. I wanted to see the
I don't
Bengals.
because the Bengals would have been in, and I don't want that.
I know you're a Raven fan, so of course you don't want to see the Bengals, but I think the Bengals are just a fun team to watch from the Broncos.
Oh, 100%. It's not even. I obviously I dislike the Bengals, but I'm afraid to play them a third time. Both our wins against them were very close. I would hate to have to play them a third time. Like I just
Didn't you
statistically, it's
guys
not in our
just beat the
favor.
Steelers, right?
We did, yes.
Oh, well, I was listening
Pretty
to this too. I
convincingly.
watch this Viking podcast sometimes because it's a really cool guy. He
Mhm.
talks about the Packers too, obviously, and he gives good takes. They're not like just hating on the Packers. It's good, fair takes. And there's a guy in there. He's actually a Steelers fan. He literally said this exact thing: "We're gonna win. We're gonna beat the Ravens the first time, and the Ravens are gonna go beat us, and then we're gonna beat them in the playoffs. That's how it always goes."
I mean,
So you,
statistically, it's not a bad take. They've won like 8 of the last 10, I think. So, or 8 of the last 11. So it's pretty, not in our favor. But I think we're also peaking as they're hitting their crater like usual. So
that's what it seems. We'll definitely see what it looks like. It's gonna be a fun matchup as always. It's a brutal AFC North matchup. So.
no, it should be. I'm not happy to have to play them, but at the end of the day, I'd rather play a strong team that's gonna make us fight for it in the playoffs, rather than play the Houston who's limped into the playoffs, or the Chargers who've like quietly kind of gone into it, or the Broncos who are just not playoff ready. I don't think.
Okay, that's scary. Well, I hope he's all right, War, because obviously, like, we have no chance if. Well, I don't want to say no chance. I think Malik is good enough to win us a playoff game. To be honest, I really do actually. After seeing what he's been able to do, but the problem is he's gonna be lacking some weapons, and then the Eagles are just gonna focus on stopping
I
our
don't
running
think
back.
Malik
So
could beat the Eagles personally.
it'd be
Like the Eagles are just too good and too complete of a team. I don't think Malik has it in him to beat a team of that caliber.
yeah, but I also think the Eagles might be kind of fake. I really do. I know it seems like a weird take, but they just don't seem real to me. They've
I
shown
mean,
they've shown good spots, but they've also shown me just as bad. So I
no, it's like what was it, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when they played the Bucks in the first round and got mollywopped because they just like lost 6 of their last 7 or something. They get limped
yeah
in. I don't think they're quite at that level, but I definitely do believe that they're a little over touted.
yeah.
Like I think they're good. I don't think they're great.
I think the team
I
to worry
say as
about
they beat us earlier in the year,
the
but
team to worry about in the NFC, the two teams at the moment, in my opinion, are the Rams and the Vikings. And I hate saying that about the Vikings, but I think they're just a good fucking football team now. They have proved
they
it to
are.
me. So
I've been waiting all season for Sam Darnold to just like regress back to what he was, and he hasn't. And I've been pleasantly surprised by that. Like it's fun to watch. Like he's playing very well.
yeah,
Like I thought it was gonna be like when they were 5-0. I was like, oh yeah, like great. Like we've seen this before. Like Fitzpatrick had that one really great start 6 years ago. Like everyone has like those hot starts and then they fade out, but he has not faded out. So
yeah. But nonetheless, I'm turning the volume up at the wrong time.
CLT. We're talking about football CLT. No one cares about league clearly. No, yeah, we
What
kind of just did completely ignore talking about league for the last couple of minutes, but that's okay.
I mean,
At the end of the day.
every single one of these streams is always about league. Maybe I want to just take a break for a second. Jeez.
Hey, maybe we need to put some Subway Surfers gameplay up on the stream for the people so they can stay locked in.
Yeah. Hey, we're allowed to talk different things. We're not in game yet. But with that being said, we could talk a couple minutes here about this draft now that we're finally waiting on the spectator delay. Um, if we're looking at it objectively from two sides, I think scaling wise is probably I think it's actually pretty even. I mean, Cassidy is going to scale super hard. We all know this, but Like you can't ignore Seraphine. Very very good late scaling AP champion. Hwei doesn't scale as hard, but I don't think she's gonna get. Or Hwei's not. Well, I guess is Hwei she? I don't even know. But Hwei's not gonna get left in the dust unless um, he will.
Hui is a male.
Okay. I forget like what he's. I don't know if he had some weird stuff going on. So, but anyway, so Hwei will scale regardless, though. I think, but not as hard. Like he's just not gonna scale as hard. So if we're
Hmm.
looking at the scalings, I think I do give it slightly to load the Kennen side, just slightly. Jarvan obviously falls off. Olaf falls off. Nautilus falls off. These three always fall off. I'd say Sedge and Rel are kind of similar to that stance. They're just gonna be really tanky. Nard's a weird one. I don't know. I don't know how
I really
Nard
like the
scales.
Gnar here personally.
I think it's good when you have three melees. I don't think he's bad. He kites it out pretty well, and then when he goes mega, he can just turn a fight.
Yeah, well, it's more like because Jarvan's gonna ult, right, and that provides even more things to throw people into.
Yeah.
Um, and like he's rather safe in lane being the semi-ranged champion that he is, so that Olaf can't like turbo run him down as he could some other, less mobile top because he has the dash as well. So there's some top lanes who have a struggle time, but even with especially with the Q, he can farm from distance if he has to, a little bit safer.
Yep.
And he has the ways to dodge Jarvan for the gank. So I think it's a nice safe pick for the lane and a good pick for the late game team fight.
Are you
Considering
banned
that
by chance?
I'm at through 5, 6, 7.
Okay, we're at the same time.
Awesome. And the real great part is I get to control Shift Z and zoom out some more so I can actually see the map.
No, the real cool thing is you're not the one streaming, so you can do whatever you want with your camera.
Oh, even better. That's just truly what God wants. All right, I'm gonna zoom out so I can look at 2 lanes at the same time.
Yeah, I do worry about the J4 synergies a little bit here because you can make it so that your Nautilus and or Olaf can't play the game when you ult. It could be really funny situations. That synergy might get messed up. But then on the flip side of that, it's gonna synergize really really well with Hwei and Seraphine. So
I think the Jarvan's fine because I think if you don't play him as the primary engage and you let Nautilus kind of have that job, Nautilus goes in, locks someone up, and then J4 comes on top, and then you've got 2 people to buff the Seraphine ult. I think that's a lot more value than letting Jarvan. Like obviously, if Jarvan has the angle, go for it, right? But I think the way I would want to play this game is that the Nautilus kind of be that primary tool to start a fight. He's got like that more reliable hook to really grab somebody, and then there's all that follow up to go on top of them because you can dunk on their head to do a bunch of damage. You can set up a Seraphine ult. Whereas if you go with J4 first, then Nautilus is kind of like you said, looking out. If he throws the hook, but the wall is there, it blocks that a lot of the time.
they have no way of escaping their own J4 arena. It's funny. This is true. This is true. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But if I had to guess based on this game, just this game either ends at 25 minutes for Sad Jellyfish or it's going to be a late game. That's how I look at it. More than likely how the game should play out.
I think no matter what, it goes pretty long. There's pretty good wave clear on both sides.
Well, T-Dog and Dippy are trading a bit here in the top lane.
Taking advantage of the range, get the extra autos in. Very nice. Oh, no hook from the Nautilus there.
Yeah, starting shield for some trade power. Makes sense. You don't always have to be as aggressive, and I think in that lane you really don't have high kill threat level 1, so...
That's true, yeah. Is much more of a chill. Jungler's going opposite pathings here, so... Sedge, oh, she's smartly avoiding the ward to not show. I like that.
Manipulating the vision is always great to see from the jungler. In fact, not just manipulating, Frozen's just going to send it right into Dippy.
This is very good. The Olaf has the push in. This is a very good gank.
But T-Dog still has not hit 3. He does get the stun though, so that might be all they need. And I think Dippy knows he's dead. He's just full committing. And that's going to be first blood going over to the Gnar.
No, perfect. Dippy smartly not wasting his flash. And a lot of players, oftentimes, they panic when they're getting ganked. They just waste the flash, try to escape. Very intelligent. He knows he's dead. He knows he's in a bad spot. Didn't successfully crash that 3rd wave. And just takes his death like a man and just TP's back.
Yeah, and he technically is up 1 farm. So, and meanwhile, nice stretch line here onto -2 coins. Strawberry Milk's going to turn back here with a nice W of his own, but now he's going to be knocked for the flag and drag. Can Strawberry get out? He will flash, so that should be good. And you see that here. The kill pressure is just not fully there. If that was the Ziggs, sure, the Ziggs probably is dead. But unfortunately, just not enough. I should also point out,
Yeah,
Rizzy
no.
is a sub-jungler for said jellyfish. Nice
Ooh,
Hex
the
Smash here
flash.
from Mark Cutie. That's going to be a first blood. No, I'm sorry, no, second blood going over to Shanti.
Very patient from Jarvan there, just waiting, knows it's not warded, and Minus and Strawberry were trying to be respectful and play far enough back so they couldn't get jumped, but you know, the flash commit from Marcuti there is beautiful. Great gank, and they're going to do a freeze here bot lane to really punish this Ziggs, who's already down over a wave.
Yeah, now Erika's got to be careful. Rizzy's coming into the lane. Marcuti's obviously in the lane as well. Flag and Drag will not land, but it shouldn't matter. Marcuti is around. They're slowly walking him down, and that's going to be a kill here. Going over to the J4.
Frozen's
How does Frozen
Marcuti
play
taking
this?
the right angle.
Again, misses the knock-up. And yeah, he's able to escape without having to burn flash.
Great rotate. Might be some action here as TP's coming back in.
They
Strawberry
are
Milk
aware
is here.
there's no flash on Marcuti, but they're actually trying to turn on a Rizzy, and that might get this Sejuani killed. A couple more autos should do it, but he's able to walk out. Now they're just turning right back on to Strawberry Milk, and Strawberry Milk will fall.
Ooh, yeah, big missteps here from Load the Kennens. Just overextending, trying to punish with the TP coming through. And they're going to lose someone else. And now Sedge might be in danger as Marcuti and Rizzy are walking into her jungle. Alright, looks like she'll just... Nope, Sedge... She's going to walk down. They are going to run into this Jarvan here. We'll see how this goes.
They have a chance of killing him if they
Strawberry
get
Milk.
there in time. Strawberry's going to spot it out. The camp should go over, but
Oh, the
all the
shutdown.
CC being layered properly. That's a shutdown. Unfortunately, it doesn't go over to who you want, but Minus is going to find out Marcuti. Do they have any follow-up here? Marcuti is very, very low.
Ooh, the stun doesn't land.
Doesn't.
Seraphine
just
slow is
misses.
just enough. Yeah.
I saw someone flash there, I think. Yeah, Frozen flashed and trying to get into the range. So that's a big summoner burned on your jungler here for nothing.
Yeah, no, I like the effort. It's a good idea. Like, I understood why he did it. You got to try to go for the kill there. Just unlucky it couldn't go through. But right now, the gold lead only 200. So despite the 1 kill difference, they're still not horribly behind. But the wave states are a little rough. Minus trying to crash this so he can bounce back. He is down a lot of farm though.
Speaking of situations, you see Rizzy walking up here, but P-Dog does gnar out, so I don't think they're going to try to threaten this. Sedge tries to jump in the bush, doesn't land anything. But you see Salt's coming over. Marcuti's here as well. This is a full commit. Very interesting. Marika's in the wings. Let's see if P-Dog can survive. They drop the ulti onto him. Hook's going to land as well. P-Dog should go down. Yes, Dibby will pick up the kill. Dibby does have his ulti running. He's going to run out. Frozen has no flash. They're aware. The flag and drag does miss, though, but it's not going to matter. And that's going to be a kill for Salt on this way.
Yeah, just unlucky. I like the idea, you know, trying to engage on that Jarvan. Almost had him, but the rotate up from Marcuti was just enough to really turn the tides there. And Marika a little bit slow on the rotate. Hoi was able to get there first and put his damage out. So just unfortunate there for Load the Kennens. Now they're in a pretty big hole. They're going to lose all 3 grubs and then be down about 1.5k gold this early into the game. It's a little rough. Frozen Ace is pathing towards these grubs. I'm not sure why. You should just be giving them and going to collect your camps. Just kind of wasting time here. Yeah, he's basically about 12 seconds at this point, just trying to play for these grubs rather than getting his camps.
Yeah, I would 100% agree. I think the right call there is probably just go straight to your blue side. Probably run straight into the Drake. Probably do it. And then look to just full clear up to the top side.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what I probably would have done, is go down and probably take my blue, go to the dragon, and then go back and finish the rest of the camps. But, you know, he's now babysitting P-Dog. Still has not grabbed a camp off his back. So he's now up to about 40 seconds he's wasted. Not getting anything for it, just completely wasting his time. And horrible gold value there, as Jarvan's already clearing camps and is up 20 farm now.
And the XP as well. I mean, he just hit level 6, and Frozen still has yet to hit level 5.
No, he just hit it. Yep.
Oh, he just hit it now, yeah.
Yeah, but still, a whole level behind at 8 minutes is really rough for a jungler. Especially since both their ults are great for making plays, a lot of engage and pick potential there. And now they're kind of just waiting. And Frozen Ace, you know, he'll get 6 off of, I think, 3 more camps. but still very behind from where he wants to be at this point in the game.
Yeah, it's still playable. I mean, I think we talked about it before. I think the scaling is good on their sides. They should be all right. But you just don't want to get too far behind. So that's kind of the goal moving forward here, is not suffering too much.
Yeah, I do think they've been spent a little bit too greedy and aggressive this early in the game. I think they need to respect the fact that they're more of like a mid-game team. Like that's where they really expect. Kassadin and Ziggs both want that one item to really kind of hit their stride and actually be able to do consistent damage. Whereas the Jarvan, the Hui can do quite a bit early, especially with the range advantage that the Hui has. I think it would have been smarter to play to just give up those grubs.
There's a flash in from Shanti. He's actually going to miss the ult, and I think everyone should be safe. Minus is forced to flash away. They're going to force everything onto Minus, though, so Minus does fall. And no Cataclysm, but that is a dead Ziggs.
No, he did ult him. Yeah, he flash ulted.
Yep.
Yeah, that was good. I mean, no, it's a great play. They get to kill him as they crash a wave, and now they get to move right onto this dragon. Just great team rotations here from that jellyfish so far. I mean, this Nautilus has been everywhere, and he's working very well, combining with his junglers to move around the map and threaten these things. Although there might be a fight here with this dragon.
Yeah, I mean, Strawberry, though, he's not level 5. Can they steal it? They're not able to. J4 is able to smite it over. The fight's kind of going every which way. So far, Rel's the only one to fall. Shanti will go down next from a nice Ziggs bomb. There's still some fighting here. Eureka is trying to pop off, but he only has so many ult charges here early on. You see Rizzy's low, going to be picked up by Eureka now. So are they able to kill this away in time? We see a TP coming in as well. Mark Cutie is going to fall. It's been a crazy fight, but here comes Dippy now to be the hero that they need. Not only the hero they deserve, and that's going to be another kill for this Olaf, who got a double kill off that TP.
I mean, I think great fight from Load the Kennens. I really liked it to start. Just took a little bit too long to kill everyone in the pit, and Dippy was able to get a great TP in and just finish up some of these kills. They had to make a play, and I like it. They had to go for something. They took a good fight. It went well, just not quick enough on the ball. But the gold lead hasn't moved too much, all things considered. So I think they're still in an okay spot. They got some kills. One of the people they wanted is Ziggs, Kassadin, both now have some kills. They've got those first items done, so they're starting their scaling process. They're a little bit accelerated. I think any gold at this point is very good for them.
Yeah, Mark Cutie, man, he's such a menace. He's always on the map. We both played against him a lot, so we're familiar with this play style. This is game 1, Tenzin.
Yeah, no, Mark Cutie, very good, very mobile around the map. He's had a great score line too. Doing his job very well. Eureka. The gold, the CS is really nice. Ooh.
Oh, Strawberry, you don't want to walk there. Dragon Strike will land, and there's just so much damage coming out of Rizzy right now. A nice hook out of Mark Cutie. Catches him mid-jump. Thought it would. I don't think it would have mattered too much. Just a little bit of some style points there.
Well, unlucky, but this way now 4-0, very scary. A lot of gold on the top side of the map here. Olaf, Jarvan, and Hui all very fed at this point. They're going to get all 6 grubs. I mean, the Olaf, he'll split push a good bit. I don't know. Obviously, having grubs better than not having them. I'm not saying that they don't need them. But I don't know how much split pushing to expect from their team. They're very much built like around this team fight comp. So I don't think, if there's like a Trundle or something who's going to be in the side lane constantly, it'd be a little bit more value, but still very good to have them.
I think it's more about denying it from the Ziggs squad, right? Ziggs is really good at C2 turrets, so I think that's the biggest reason you get him here. We should talk about the Ziggs a little bit, actually, Rusty. If we're looking down here, the Ziggs is down, what's that, 30 CS right now? So
yeah, he is. The one kill he has helps make up for it a little bit, but yeah, the early... he had an early death that really kind of ruined it, and that one dive they put on him as they crashed, I think it was a double stack wave, so just losing out a lot for it. But he is a Ziggs, he'll scale, he'll be okay, I think. But P-Dog might be in danger here.
I mean, if they try to dive this, he's really close to narring out, but he does not know Rizzy is there, so let's see how they play. He should be able to gnar out in time. Really nice buffer on the ultimate, it's just not going to matter. As well played and executed there by Sad Jellyfish to switch to the tower aggro.
But now there might be a gank top bot here to make up for it.
Do they have the damage to finish him, though? That's the question. It's actually a really nice ulti. It's going to make it so Salt cannot help defend. Now they're going to turn on Assault, but right afterwards. But he has a lot of damage coming out of this way. He's going to be able to pick up one onto Frozen. Maybe a little too committed there. And ends up being a 1-for-1 on the bot side.
Yeah, it's a little bit greedy. They took the one, but take a little. I think they expected the Seraphine to die a little bit sooner, and so they kind of panic switched. You know, where they were ready to go onto the Hui, but they hadn't quite finished Seraphine yet, so had to get awkward resets on their abilities. Um, I understand why they went for it. I mean, the Hui was kind of up, but he just is so fit at this point. He's able to do the damage to get one back. Helped by, I think it was like 6 tower shots that went off. So, but yeah, I mean, great by Salt by default to get one back for his death. Or, sorry, get one back for his Seraphine's death. But towers were traded, and the gold is now at 3.5. So it's growing, but not by a lot. It's still relatively close.
Yeah, I would say it's staying pretty much just stable at this point. It hasn't, like you said, it's been a small change, probably 200, 300 gold difference from what we last looked at it. And this is exactly where I think the kennens want to try to keep this game. Like, I don't think you want to let it get any bigger than about 3.5K. So if they can keep it slow from here and just farm up and play for that, like you said, a couple items on their carries, I think then they can start to push back.
And it looks like the kennens will at least get one herald back here, so they get an objective. So they're not gonna get swept this early, which is nice. We are a little late on dragons, so we're about a dragon behind where you would really ideally like to be.
Yeah, and that was a big everyone front of arm used there. Marika actually going to use his ulti right into Riz's face. Still not even level 11, so he's not going to have a high charge on this. Until this fight breaks out, they're going to drop everything onto -2 points. -2 points should immediately fall. Cataclysm comes down to get the kill. Frozen's trying to cut it out, but meanwhile, Strawberry's just stuck in between a rock and a hard place all by himself, and he will fall to Dippy. Judge Line's going to hit the blue buff, so Frozen's going to be safe for now, but here comes another flag and drag on top of Marika's Kassadin, and again, this Kassadin's not even level 11 yet, so does not have many alt charges. Beautiful Seraphine all over the wall, flashed over, but he will fall, so that's going to be a 1-for-1 so far. Dog though, he's going to Gnar out. No, he's not. It's not going to matter, and the kill will be picked up by Salt. And that's going to be a 4-for-1, barring what happens here with Marika, who's TPing topside to just make sure he's safe.
That was messy. I liked the idea from the kennens that they're not in the spot where they could. I mean, Marika just was in there a little early. He's like trying to start fighting, but he's 1v3 around his blue buff. His team's still coming through mid. It seemed a little disoriented as a team and didn't quite get that engage that they wanted. And then just losing it completely. Now Strawberry looks like he might be cut out here.
Yeah, Strawberry with a little bit of an overcommit trying to defend a turret that does not need to be defended. Not say kill once again going over to this jungler. He's now 6-2 on this J4.
Yeah, this game getting a little bit out of hand now by Load the Kennens. They're down 5.5K. At this point, that's pretty significant, especially only at 16 minutes. They're down to 2 dragons. They're down to 6 grubs. It's really Jellyfish's game to lose at this point. They're just so far ahead. They have so much gold on all their carries. You can really think about the Seraphine almost as a support in this game. Obviously, she's building damage, but the rest of her team just does so much. All she has to do is really be a boost to them and not necessarily the carry. And the Jellyfish just have a really good comp for just blowing up some of these squishier targets on the side of Load the Kennens.
Yeah, I think the key here is somehow being able to defend the Ziggs to dish out some damage, and it doesn't seem like there's much setup for that right now. Like, they all want to kind of go in, and I think the Ziggs wants to play a little bit back here, so I think that's part of why the Ziggs are struggling. And since they're playing forward, that puts Ziggs in a very vulnerable position to constantly get jumped on by J4 or this Nautilus almost every fight.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's rough for them here. Look at the gold. Yeah, everyone's down at least. Well, Ziggs is actually up to the Seraphine, only 200, but other than that, mid is down 1300, jungle's down 2k, top's down 2.2k, so it's pretty rough here. Ziggs is really their last chance to really kind of hold this game out.
Yeah, and a lot of that has to do with I think some of the play holds that Minus has been able to get, as well as he brought the farm back too. I mean, he's only down about a little more than, what, 15 CS?
15?
Yeah. So he cut it in half since the last time he brought it up.
No, I mean, he's doing a fine job. He's got that Seraph stun already.
Oh, nice right in there between the minions, right on top of the ulti. That's going to be more likely a dead Ziggs. Doesn't matter what he does, and he will fall. They're still trying to fight it out, but they don't have any damage. Nobody else here to do the damage. And beautiful flag and drag, predicting the flash. So this will be a double kill for Rizzy. And once again, I don't think they're allowed to be there. Rizzy is low, but he's getting all these shields. P-Dog's trying to make a play. Really nice Q, still not enough to finish off this J4.
Jarvan able to get out. Oh, no!
Oh, wait, the Q coming from P-Dog. He does alt Mark Judy back, but I don't think that's the target you want. So Frozen should fall between all these APs. He's actually going to be finished here. But look at the backline here. Rurika, he's in. He is now level 12. This is when he's starting to spike a little bit. Obviously, he's got to be careful as Dippy has arrived.
The team's back. They might look to go back in. We'll see. No, it's like, we'll just respectfully, everyone's going to walk away. But, I mean, decent fight there. They got some big shutdowns, especially the one on the Jarvan there, which was nice. Unfortunately, not able to get the Hui, but, you know, Katzen picked up a kill. So now he's, you know, he's almost finished with his Rod of Ages as well. He's already at 8 of the 10 stacks, and his tier is almost done. So once he finishes that Seraphs, he'll be fully scaled up in terms of items are concerned. It's just a matter of getting more damage to follow up with it. We've got Dragon will be up in another couple minutes. So the teams should start moving their vision down there, but Baron will be spawning here in 30 seconds. Oh, as Ziggs will get jumped again.
Ziggs just putting himself in a bad spot. He's able to jump away. He's actually able to dodge out of the Cataclysm, but do they have any peel? Strawberry's doing everything he can. Rodriguez now arrived, so this has potential. TP incoming from P-Dog. P-Dog is narred out. That's going to be a kill on a J4, and now they're going to turn onto this tanky Nautilus, but I don't think he's going to have enough tankiness to survive this. He will not. Frozen's behind. What are you doing back there, my friend? Advantageous spot for the Sejuani. A little disjointed from the team, so that should be a kill going over to this Hui. Very interesting. I'm not sure what was going on there. Oh, and a flash neighbor Dippy will pick up the Zig. Dippy's now going off, and look at the Seraphine. Look at the damage on the Rurika. He's forced to try to rift out, but I don't think it's going to matter. He does flash. Nice usage of the Q. Keep himself alive and get that shield nearly sniped. And Dippy just turns that fight around when it really looked a little Kennens favored. And it all starts with the Sejuani being in a really weird spot.
Yeah, I think Sedge was going for a flank. I think she came over with a Raptor wall, if I saw it correctly. And I liked the idea. If the team was still committed to the chase, it was fine. But they kind of seemed happy with those 2 kills, ready to walk away as she'd come over that wall. And it was just unfortunate desync between the teams. It would turn what would have been a nice regaining of some gold into a lost fight and probably a lost dragon here.
Yeah, let's see if they even look to contest. There's no TP on this Gnar, so that's something to note. Rurika does have his, but it looks like they're just going to give.
Yeah, just going to give the dragon. And it makes sense that you're behind. You know, you can just give this one and try to contest it on the soul. Rurika, though, walking in here for whatever reason.
Maybe Frozen can get a sneaky steal, and he does! That's actually massive to slow the stacking, but what's going to happen after this? They're putting a lot of damage on a Frozen. Frozen will fall. I think the most important thing is just get out, right? That's what the rest of the team needs to do. Strawberry looks like he will be a sacrificial lamb. He will die, so that is going to probably be Baron here, but I think you'll take that. You slow the dragon stacking here. Overall isn't bad, but now you got to play around that Baron.
Honestly, I don't think this is even like a free Baron. There's definitely still, like, the time is pretty short. Sedge is up in 8 seconds now. It's definitely still contested. You have a Ziggs, you have TP on your Kassadin, Gnar's already up here. If I'm them, I'm turning and coming to this Baron.
Yeah, but it looks like P-Dog is just going to reset. So it looks like they're just going to give, and Marika's going to put pressure on the Salt.
Ziggs is going to try to grab this mid tower, it looks like, as this Baron gets finished up here. That was a very, very messy
he does acquire it, but now Minus is kind of trying to run. Looks like they're not going to chase him, though, so.
And now Smart, just take your backs. You have a lot of gold to spend after the Baron grab. Take your backs, buy up some items, and then get ready for this push to kind of knock down these tier 2s. I don't love the full commit from the team, particularly Strawberry. He doesn't really have a way out once he's in there, and he kind of shows up really late to do nothing. Like, if they're going to go for the steal, I love the idea, and obviously Frozen got it, so full props to him. You've got to call your team off. Like, Rurika, sure, whatever. He's got ults, you know, multiple flashes with that. He can be in there, kind of help harass, but it should just gotta be like, go for the steal with one person and take the death for it. And instead, he kind of offers up 2 of his teammates for it, you know, himself and the Rel. And then they also lose Baron off the back end of it.
Yeah. I think a play here mid might be a little risky. They don't have a lot of damage, so I think you just try your best to defend what you can. Going to lose some turrets, I think, during this push.
Yeah, Rika trying to get one on the bot side of the map here. But Dippy's going to get one up here for sure. This tower will go down as there's a fight for vision in the top side jungle.
Yeah, and Eureka won't be able to get this turret. I mean, they have no grub, so it's a very slow take from this Kassadin.
Yeah, and this mid tower, not really defensible. There's no wave clear other than the Ziggs, and with Baron mains, it's very difficult.
Yeah. Luckily, people were able to walk out there, but if there was a full commit, that Sejuani easily could have been dead there.
Most definitely.
Rika's trying to make a play bot. He's really trying to do something on the map, but unfortunately, he was not able to find the angle.
No, he's not. Seraphine gonna spot him out, but he'll be able to get that back off nice and safe. As now Vision and Push is being moved to this bot tier 2 here. The whole team rotating around. They've still got a little bit of Baron left.
Yeah, it's been a really good Baron Baron play so far. I mean, they're already they're pushing 9K on their gold lead here, so.
Yeah, they got 2 towers and looking for a third here, and Rika might be in trouble as Rizzy is behind the flash from Arcuti.
Oh, that's a perfectly with the CC there. There's just no chance for Rika to survive when you layer CC like that. So well played there from Sad Jellyfish.
A great commit from Arcuti's flash there, beautifully done. And they do get the towers. It's 3 towers and a kill for the Baron with the Baron power play here. Easily a few thousand gold gains as they're now trying to defend these inhib towers, but Waves are really trying to take a tower with his buffed up cannon minions. Baron should be running off here any minute. Yeah, it's going to be gone now, so it'll be easier to defend. Not quite able to crack the base, but it is teetering on the edge with that bot tower being super low. Oh. Okay, no. I think my Discord crashed for a second there, but we're all good now.
Okay, I can still hear you, so I don't really know if it did or not.
It's been doing this weird thing where it'll like just be completely gray. I don't know what all that's about, but no worries here. All right, and now looks like what's that? Just about a 9K gold lead, or 8.5, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty massive, honestly, at this point. I mean, 26 minutes in, almost 10K. There's not much, I think, the kennens can do here except for just kind of throw up a prayer.
Yeah, they really do look for a pick here. I mean, this Seraphine is the prime target. She's away from her team. But they do get first move into this dragon. It looks like they are going to immediately start it up. They're pulling it out of the pit. It's going to depend on how they want to do this. Seraphine's still mid. If they full commit to this dragon, it's definitely doable because she's not there.
They're trying to keep them off. A nice engagement from Strawberry, just trying to keep them off here. This fight will be secure, but what is going to happen here with the fight so far, you see Dippy in the back doing whatever Dippy wants to do. There's a TP, just to even safe, but Dippy's just killing everybody. He is mauling the whole team. That's a double kill. Flashing out a P-Dog. Frozen's by himself. Pretty much everybody's already dead. Frozen will fall. P-Dog will fall next, and that's going to be a full ace. I didn't even see where Seraphine TP to, but I guess she just TP'd to be with the team.
Yes, from mid lane. Well, she was behind them perfectly, too. Like, she had a great flank, but she TPs to a pink ward in the bottom pixel brush for whatever reason. Obviously, it's fine. This is just going to end here after a clean ace. Kennen's got the dragon, but this got completely disassembled afterwards, and they're going to lose this game 1 of the series.
Yeah, I think if you're the side below the kennens there, your best angle is send Strawberry in to commit suicide, basically, and just run away. Run. Get the Drake and run.
Yeah. Well, they'd seen the Seraphine mid too. Like I think the Rel did a great job kind of zoning the whole team. She jumped to get like a 3 or 4 man ult. I think that's fine. Let her die for that while your team finishes the dragon, and then everyone run away because they Dippy went in with his ult and started fighting the whole team alone. I think if you're like peeling out as you fight, and they had a chance to get away, but just kind of got a little confident, I think, because of almost killing Dippy, and then took the fight, ended up losing it. So unfortunate for them, but. No, they can bounce back for game 2 and 3.
No, certainly. I think there's some angles here that they can certainly exploit. The big thing is just understanding the comp you're drafting, right? And I know sometimes teams they miss that. You're looking at the comp. We kind of talked about it a bit early on in the game. you have a comp that wants to scale a bit. You want to get to a couple items on the casted and on the zigs here. You're not really trying to force fights. I think the best angle maybe would be to load the bot side heavily there and try to get the zigs as far ahead as possible. So maybe you're looking for four-man setups on the bot side of the map. Obviously, the first Dippy kill was great, and I think it was really well executed there. But after that, I think you just try to load the bot side of the map and just play for drakes and play for gold.
100%. Definitely just needed to be a little bit more respectful in those first 10 to 15 minutes of just giving things and making plays elsewhere for gold rather than trying to contest these objectives. And I think that was ultimately what ended up losing them the game. But, hopefully they can take those lessons and kind of like acknowledge and realize that and move into this second game a little bit better prepared with either a different strategy in the draft or a different strategy when it comes to playing around the map with whatever they do end up deciding to draft.
Yeah, I think good angles always to take when you're playing against that jellyfish. Trying to limit what Marcuti can do. I think that could be either through pinching Marcuti himself, maybe looking to pinch out the AD carry to make it so that he has to maybe play towards bot lane a little bit. Losing some safety there. Things like that, I think, can be ways to beat them. Dippy, as we all know, is got a very versatile pool, so I don't think you can do too much in the draft there, except for just get the counter like they did. I like that idea. And then, we all know about Salt, very stable mid laner. You could try to pinch him, but I think he's got enough things there that it don't really matter. But you want to really throw off that the guy that's kind of moving around the map and setting things up for the team. So I also am curious what they could do with with the Rizzy here. I mean, maybe he has some things they can pinch out a bit. I'm not familiar with the player, obviously. But certainly some changes in the draft will be good.
Okay, we'll see what they do decide to do as we come into this second game. Looks like kennens are going to opt to stay into the red side here. So obviously they feel comfortable with that side. They probably just thought, maybe we made some misplays either in the draft or in the map. And that was the loss reason, not, having that prior pick on the blue side. So we'll see what they opt to do with that. How CLT calling out the steal earlier. Very cute. Thank you.
Yeah, we're there's a lot of good junglers when it comes to smite steals. We've seen that this split already. I know you've got one or two. I've got a couple myself. It's been a fun split with
One or two.
yeah
Ugh,
yeah.
that's honestly more insulting than anything you ever could have said. I feel a
I
little hurt by
I
that.
know you got two, but I don't know if you have any more than that. That's why I said that. I'm like, yeah, it's.
I think I'm at 4 or 5 on the season. Now, granted, some of them have come in losses, and so they don't really matter, but they still count,
They still
and they're
matter.
very important
I'm
to
trying to
me.
remember what other ones you got. I remember the Poppy one. Could have sworn there was a Sejuani one.
There's a Poppy one, there was a Sedge one, there were 2 on Mundo in the first game of this split.
Oh yeah, I guess yeah. Yeah, those were funny because you just walked at them and then y'all decided to
Yes, the
snipe out.
classic just walk in. I did just recently get Corporate Mundo too, so I do hope to play him again with the skin. So we'll see how that fleshes out, but we do have Spec League, so draft should be starting here any moment.
Indeed. Rusty, you could potentially do another cast if you wanted today, if you're feeling the need to be big caster mood.
Is there another match later tonight?
Yes, the one I'm actually subbing in for.
Oh, I see, I see. That is an interesting theory. I'll consider it. We'll see. I do have a date with my top laner for some games after this, I think. But honestly, I thought it was gonna be something to this series, but it seems like Icy Ace will be staying in. So glad to see he's doing a little bit better.
Man, who is Pugsley coming after all the time? I've seen this a couple times in chat. Who's the one guy? Because if you're referring to yourself, I think you're great. If you're referring to somebody else, I'd love to know who it is. Who are you shitting on right now?
Oh no. I have heard some Oh, myself? Pugsley, don't hate on yourself, King. I'm sure you're wonderful. I don't watch enough streams, so I don't know if I've caught you at all, but I'm sure you're pleasant to listen to.
No, Pugsy's really good. I've enjoyed his cast that I've watched of his. They're very good. I don't really have a caster where I go, man, this guy just stinks. I think more it's getting comfortable and it's understanding what your strong suits are with something like this. You know, when I started doing it, I had no idea what I was gonna be capable of. You know, I'm fine with being. I shouldn't say in front of a camera, but I'm fine with being in front of people. I used to sing in choir. I've done many solo concerts. I've sang at events. You know, I've done these things, so I'm comfortable with that aspect of it. And to me, talking isn't much different than singing. For me, I know for some they would say it's completely different, but for me, it doesn't feel different. Um, but yeah, casting is definitely a different ball game on the talking side of it because right now we're just conversating. This is natural. But casting, learning how to play by play, getting better and better at it, has been something I've been uh, figuring out. And I will say, anybody that's doing it, props to you. I should put the draft up too. I sometimes
You
talk too
should.
much. I just get distracted.
And I mean, everything's the same except for the Kennens have swapped in a Hui ban for something. The Rakan, I believe it was. Yep, because the Rakan is first picked by Jellyfish. That is something I have never felt comfortable giving um um golly gee Marcuti his Rakan. It's one of
Golly
those
gee.
champions. It's one of those champions that's just so good and so mobile for a support. And a good Rakan is diabolical. Like obviously Marcuti is great. I'm not saying it's the champion that makes him good. He's a great player, but someone that good on a champion like Rakan is just a nightmare. And so I think it's gutsy to allow that through. And I think the Thresh is the answer, which I mean, in theory, right? He can block the jump forward with the Flay, but still not loving it. So we'll see, if how that matchup ends up fleshing out as this game goes on, and see if the Thresh is enough to keep this Rakan at bay.
Yeah. So I should note about the first pick Rakan. I think it actually is a scary first pick for sure. Not.
Oh, 100%.
I think it's got a lot of counters actually. So it can be exploited. I do not think Thresh is one of those counters. I think that's a skill matchup between the two. So we're about to see who's the better support basically based on that, right? And that's what this comes down to. But there are some really good Rakan counters out there. I mean, Poppy being one of them. Some people play Poppy support. Um, just an example, Leona, right? Lissandra, if anybody plays that, Lissandra's actually really good in the Rakan as a support pick. So there's some stuff out there. Just about whether teams play it or not, right? And maybe the Kennens just doesn't play it, so he's like, I don't care. I'm Mark Cutie and I'm sending it.
No, it'll definitely see how it works out. So far, tanky and green from Load the Cannon. So maybe we'll see a theme here. We could see a Mordekaiser and a Maokai come out just to really help, continue that on. But wow, oof, the jellyfish comp so far is gorgeous, and I love it. And I think that they already through this first phase have a pretty significant advantage. Obviously, it'll depend how the rest of the draft plays out and how people play, but the Shin Victor is just so dangerous, and the Rakan just kind of be around there is very powerful.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing about Victor. We all know how strong he is. He's literally in our league right now. He's the best champion. Like in terms of anything you could think of statistically, he's up there in those stats, and he's shown and proved that he's obviously a strong champion. So it's been banned a lot. Sometimes it's not banned, and or these last couple days specifically, I've noticed he's been getting through a bit. No one's been willing to pick him up or ban him really, which has kind of been intriguing to me. So finally seeing him again, and maybe this is going to remind teams, hey, by the way, this champion's still OP. We'll see how it plays out. And Syndra has been one of those that people try to pick into it as okay, this should make it hard for Victor to play the game, but I haven't seen it so far. This split.
The Syndra is an interesting answer. I mean, I think she's strong enough. She can, burst the Victor if she hits her combos. And she has pretty decent wave clear as well. So I think the lane should more or less be a wash, depending on jungle intervention. But I just don't know. So if they're missing consistent damage on load the cannons, you've got Syndra who can burst someone down pretty well, and you've got two tanks who can do a lot of CC with the Thresh and Zac, but they really need some more just DPS. So either something like a Jinx could work, right? Something with that like a longer range ADC, Maybe something like an Aatrox top lane, to really just dish out damage and be more difficult to kill. But we'll see how they want to round it out as the Seraphine, Mundo, Aatrox, and Renekton are all banned. So Jellyfish have not wavered from their bans, both games.
Well, the Seraphine was swapped in. That was different, right? The Seraphine got
The
pulled.
Seraphine is new, yes.
But yeah, I mean, usually there's something you do really don't want to play against. Okay, now that will be interesting. Nyla. Are we full committing to this? Is this getting locked in? Everybody just sitting on the edge of their seats at home. No, no, we will not commit to it. Okay. Minus is playing with our souls. Well, there's your consistency.
Yeah,
But
yeah, Sivir is consistent.
the only thing that can be a problem for Sivir here, and this is really always Sivir's problem, is just your mid-range ADC. So if there's some stuff that can jump on you, which there definitely is, it can get kind of scary. You can't block everything. So, and I think Rakan is not bad into it as well because you can't hit both abilities, right? You can't hit the charm and the W, but you can hit one of them, and one of them is just enough to get the Sivir killed. That's all I gotta say. So, but in lane, the Sivir I think should be pretty safe.
Yeah, Sivir should just be able to shove these waves in on repeat and stay safe, and should allow Zac to kind of play. And hopefully, the Zac and the Thresh kind of play around the map and try to get this Syndra and whoever they end up selecting top to go in. But the Xayah, another safe pick bot lane, a lot of wave clear, a lot of just ability to avoid being hit by other things.
Okay, so there it is. Camille is the counter to Garen. I have no idea if that's a counter to Garen. I just know Garen does what Garen wants to do in video game. So we'll see if that's the answer here. How do you feel about the drafts, Rusty?
I still think load the kennens are a little lacking in the damage department. Now, obviously, Syndra and Camille can do a lot, asking the Sivir, but Xin Sao can block a lot, Xayah can dodge a lot. So it's really gonna come down to where they opt to focus that damage. Obviously, you want to kill Victor pretty quickly. You want to kill the Xayah pretty quickly. But just that Garen and Xin Sao can just really prove to be problematic for you with their mobility, their healing, their like general damage and tankiness. Also, Jellyfish have a great comp. I think whether they want to go 1-4 or 1-3-1, both will work very well. Garen obviously super fine in his side lane. Victor can handle himself depending on how fed he ends up being. And then Jhin, Rakan, and Xayah, obviously a very safe few champions. Just a lot of ways to avoid being picked out, which I think is what the kennens kind of have built around with that Camille, Syndra, Zac. Like there's a lot of pick potential and quick burst damage, as well as CC among those picks. And again, I think the kennens are kind of missing that really early damage kind of fight for like first grubs, first dragon. And so I'd really love to see them kind of let those go and just focus on farming the Syndra, farming the Sivir, and getting to that mid-game spike of being able to quickly pick off and kill a priority target.
Yeah. Once again, I actually think, and more this game than last game, I actually think the scaling part of it, they both scale really, really well. I think late game is going to be banger, like if we ever get there. So that's not a concern. It's just who's got the better early mid game, and I definitely would say it's Jellyfish's comp. Xin Zhao is really, really good compared to Zac in the earlier part of the game. And then Garen, again, it's just Garen. He gets like half an item and he's two-shotting people. I don't understand that champion.
Garen is very, very problematic. In what you asked with the Camille Garen matchup, I think it's technically a skill matchup, but it favors Camille. If someone thinks that I'm better than me, then please do correct me, but that is my understanding from my top laner and his depth of knowledge on the lane and the matchups.
Yeah, tell him to get in the chat and let us know where's he at.
He is currently trying to grind out ranked games.
Yes, the meaningless ranked games of the splits. How this split is the worst split ever.
Yeah, this split has been truly diabolical.
I've decided to just not even put my time and effort into it. I said, you know what? I'll just play next season. I just can't grind anymore. I have nothing to prove to myself anymore. I've done it already, you know?
No, I mean, I'm with you. But then there's that part of me that says I want the flashy, colorful border, and I
Bortle?
want to play the game.
Yeah, I want the Bortle too.
Yes.
What's that?
I might say a slur on stream and get you banned if you keep bullying me.
I mean, you'd have to say some really harsh stuff, I think, to get us banned, so
Don't
a regular
don't
old slur shouldn't hurt us too much.
don't doubt me too hard there, King. But no, yeah, I mean this will be. I don't know, I'm excited to see how this game plays. I really think it's gonna come down to Rakan and Shinsao and how they play these first 10 minutes. If they do anything like they did last game and the Kennens don't either respond or respect accordingly, I think we'll see a very similar game to last, where it's just a quick explosion of gold in that early mid game that just leads to Jellyfish being able to wallet slap the Kennens.
Yeah, that's always a great feeling when you know that your wallet's just not fat enough, so you just take the L.
All right, now 4 minutes until it's time for us to really truly cast this game.
Yes, are you gonna go pour yourself a glass of wine, sir?
I might go pour myself a glass of wine, actually.
You are welcome to do that. I might actually grab water myself, just to keep myself hydrated. Man, these guys. Listen, CLT, Pugsley, you guys are great. All right, you guys should just cast together. Come be great together.
Who would be great together?
CLT and Pugsley.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I'm sure they'd be phenomenal.
I feel is this our second cast together, right, Rusty? We did one. I feel like a split or two ago or something.
Yeah, I think I stopped in one time before.
Yeah, I could have sworn it
And
happened. I don't think we have it out there, sadly. I think it happened the first time I started casting, which would have been spring split.
sounds about right, honestly. This is my first time casting in a couple years, I think, so it's been a while.
Yeah, I know.
I'm a bit lazy.
I've heard of your famous travels upon the casting land.
Yeah, I've gotten around a little bit when it comes to casting. I even once got paid for it, and that was really fun. It was like $10, but still.
It was a whole ten. These guy was rich.
Hey, $10 to do something I would have done for free? That's a win.
He went to the store and bought himself a Big Mac because that's all he could afford with that $10.
Actually, I put it into the gambling apps.
It's even worse.
No, it's okay. I'm actually positive all the time, so it's not a problem. It's only a problem when you start losing money.
This guy. Uh,
Uh,
it is possible. It is possible
what's that?
to get paid for casting. You just have to have the right setup. Are you in by chance?
I am. Go ahead and count us off, and I will sync up with you.
I'm at 18 seconds.
All right, I'm at 22,
Oh,
23,
pause.
24.
You pause yourself.
Oh,
21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26.
all right, we are synced.
Cool, cool, cool. I paused thinking you got in late, so.
Yeah, no, clearly I have the better computer, and therefore I'm in first.
Or I think we actually got in the same time because I paused.
Oh, I see. You pause when
Yeah.
you go in.
Yeah. Well, no, I thought you had said you weren't in yet, so I misheard you.
No worries, King. No worries. It happens to the best of us. It's like just a classic 5 point. I wish I'd see some more level 1 shenanigans. Everyone seems to play it too safe.
Dude, dang, who's got the dope music?
Minions have spawned.
And CLT, and to answer your question, I know he already did, but it was for a league called Astral Esports or whatever. It was a few years back, but it was like this 5th or 6th year I was with them, and they started offering like $10 to cast like the bigger, like the playoff games, because they wanted to make sure they had casters for playoffs. It was like $10 to cast the series. So, but then no other bigger leagues also. I think Risen Esports pays their casters a small amount, but pretty tame early games so far. Just light trading.
I wanted to point something out. I saw Victor took bone plating. I don't really think the bone plating is the best here against the Syndra.
I think it's fine, honestly, because it just mitigates the damage her other abilities do. But if she's like auto QE W, like that helps to mitigate some of the bursts. Same with Zac, when he gets on top of you. Like, I think it's fine for like the lane, so that Syndra can't poke you out as much. You see right now he's getting abused in lane. I think it's kind of helped mitigate that and limit the amount that poking actually does.
Yeah, I get it in theory, but I mean, usually bone plating is really good into obviously like more auto attack heavy champions over your casters champions. So it mitigates some for sure. But I think Syndra can land one Q. Like there, it's fine. If you're checking the bone plating though, you just Q that for the EQ. Meanwhile though, here's a top lane gank. And P-Dog, he is level 3, so he should have his E to run away. Oh, and a nice flash there from Dippy to cancel it. That should end up being a kill, and it will be.
Wow.
Dippy with the hands.
Not even the hand, just the game knowledge to know that was a viable strategy for him is beautiful. Frozen Ace canceling the back from Rizzy here.
I'm not sure that's what he
He's
wants to
getting
do.
beat up a little bit, but the TP does come through. Marika just really smacking Salt in the face in this lane. He's built up.
Oh, that
no,
should be
Frozen
blob.
Ace and
Yeah,
damage.
blob passive is gonna come out. That's pretty huge. And this is probably gonna be a kill. Eventually.
Marika might be able to get him out.
No,
Nope,
he's
he
not.
is not.
And now he has
And
to
now
be careful
Marika might be
himself.
in trouble. Yep. Just another early misplay here by Frozen Ace, putting himself in a hole.
Yeah, you just don't have to do that. You don't have to cancel it, And if you want to cancel it, maybe you just Q and E away immediately. But you definitely do not want to fight.
Yeah. No, I think the cancel was fine. It was the trying to stick in and stay for the Scuttle Crab, knowing that he's still there. I think you need to cross map, just walk down, but instead he kind of gets picked off.
Yeah, now that's going to bleed in here in the bot lane. You see Rizzy's coming in. Nice hook, though, by Strawberry Milk. He's going to drop a knife, so they're going to be able to burn the flash on the Xin Zhao. So really well played here by the Kennens bot lane.
Yeah, no, it was a great setup there, way to just punish the Zin's actually very brave for that. I mean, obviously he got a flash out of it, so it's still worthwhile. But very brave to kind of walk, knowing that the Thresh has the opportunity to just pull you under once you're melee range.
And the item dividend, or the item, difference is paying dividends here in the top lane. So
Yeah, it's a pickaxe is just a nice bonus for Dippy to have right now this early. Just shoving waves in for free. Strawberry milk just, he wants to go for it, but it's definitely in his interest to hold his Q and his E as more of a reactionary rather than a proactive move, because Marcuti is just gonna be too mobile this early, as we see Zach starting up the dragon here. So, Frozen Ace doing a good job. He's only got the ruby crystal, but he is slowly making progress on that dragon. He shouldn't die to it. But it will take him quite a while to get it taken down.
Yeah, but I think that's the right decision. We talked about it a little bit here. Play for what is best for your team, and I think it's getting some early objectives, not going in the hole like they did last game. So, good change of pace here from Frozen.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's very good because he knows what they're going to do is go for those early grabs with the Rakan. We see the Rakan moving mid now. Those grabs up in 10 seconds. So taking advantage of that, getting the dragon here while he can. And even going to invade the bot side, looks like. Just to take his back, but still, nice intelligent play as Rorika. Ooh, he's a little high. Marcuti wants this really badly. The slow comes in.
Oh, and it actually lands. So that should be a kill. Really well played there by Salt, just to barely get the CC down.
Now, that W was, personally, it looked a little generous, giving it to her. It looked like Syndra was had the back heel of her foot still in, but otherwise was out, so unfortunate for him, but, obviously very good. Marcuti did have to commit his flash at that knockup, but, still very much worth the kill. As Victor's going to shove this wave in, and Shinsao is going to grab the grubs. Marcuti now coming top, too.
You try to cancel, but P-Dog is safe. I would really love a punish here on Shanti.
And I should try to, but it is a Xayah, relative, not quite 6 yet, but does have the barrier and the flash, so it'd be hard to dive. And Sivir does have the BF sword, but I think their best thing they can hope for here is shove these waves in and try to get a plating or so. As Frozen Ace leeching XP from P-Dog for whatever reason, just trying to help him crash it, but I'll crash that nice big wave, and Dippy should go up about 5 CS, I think, when he collects it all. And a plating is going to go to minus and Strawberry here. So minus up 2 waves. Pretty nice. And then everywhere else, it's more or less... Oh, sorry, the jungle is down 20. Frozen down those 20 CS is pretty rough this early, but... he is a tank. He'll be fine just with 1 or 2 items. He doesn't need to be in that same level of fed as something like the Shinsao wants to be. So he should be okay as soon as he gets 6 and can start looking for those team fights and whatnot.
I'm trying to make a play here on the Saw. I don't know if he has the range on the E. He does actually miss it. Oh, actually, I think that had to do with the EQ there. It's a bit of a mis-synergized play there between the mid and jungle inside of the kennens.
Yeah, he's still able to get the stun through the Q, but not enough follow-up after the fact. They do get a bunch of health off Salt, though, so hopefully put a little fear in him in that lane. But Shinsao is in the blue side jungle here, and just taking camps away. It looks like Zach wants to regank mid. Frozen trying to set it up. Will he get it off? He's going to go in. He overshoots it a little bit. The stun goes through, but ooh, just out of range for the Q.
Seems pretty unfortunate. And now Frozen's trying to force me to walk right into the Xin Zhao. So he's got to be careful here.
Yeah, Rizzy was able to steal the wolves away. He's going for the Gromp now as well.
Just get some damage off. Unfortunately, he was forced to burn the box and ignite earlier, so the Thresh can't really do much to follow up there.
Man, Frozen Ace is in danger here.
He is. He does have the ult.
He's going to be forced to ult.
Goes into blob form. Is there any turn? Minus is trying to fight, but yeah, I mean, that's just a dead Zach once again.
Rizzy just too strong. He's got the Warhammer and the pickaxe and longsword. This really has a lot of damage. He's very fed. Up 20 farm and the kill prior to that fight. Now the 2 kills. So he should have his item on back now, I believe, as he finishes up his Scuttle Crab. Bot lane maintaining a pretty hard farm advantage. Top lane is stable. Mid lane, Rurika has gotten a lead. But that jungle lead is really the, let's see, the gold difference right now is 2k. And 1,200 of that is in the jungle. Another 500s in top lane. And then 300 in mid. But then on jellyfish is down at ADC by 300. So it was close. Nothing truly tragic other than that jungle difference. But definitely is noticeable and will be important as these fights come out. Second tier grubs are coming up soon, as well as Dragon. We'll see how teams want to play about this. It looks like the jellyfish do want to prio these grubs.
Which makes sense once again. I mean, Garen here definitely likes to slow push.
Yeah, no, that honestly does. The timers are actually pretty much equal. Dragon just now spawning. We're going to have a 4v4 in the jungle. Garen gets the first rotate. There's actually going to be a 3v4.
They're going to turn here on Assault. They're going to a lot of damage on Assault, but now Frozen is stuck inside the W. Will be able to walk out as the box does come down, but there's no flash on this thresh. I'm sorry, no, there is. I apologize, but nonetheless, they're all trying to kite out their best. And they're just continuing to push, continuing to jump on them. And that's going to be 2 kills picked up here by one for Garen and one for Victor.
I really hate this play. Like, they're trying to take a fight when they don't have the damage. Because right there, it's only Syndra who can do damage. And she's got not even a full item yet. She's not ready to be a DPS fighter. And Camille is too slow to rotate. She's just then TPing back as the fight started. Can't get there while Garen is. They're down numbers, they're down damage. There's no reason to fight for those grubs. You could have just easily gotten 2 dragons. And 2 dragons for 6 grubs. It's a fine trade. Like it's not ideal, but it's something playable. And instead, they're going to lose the grubs and 2 kills. And now they're down about 2.5k. Not the greatest play. And Frozen Ace struggling here in the early going. He's 0-3 at the moment.
Yeah. Grubs to me are like the most baity thing in the game right now. And as we're going to get the new season starting up soon, we'll see how they look then. But just currently on this end of the season patch, it seems bait. I don't think you really need them that bad. If you can collect them, cool. That's great. I mean, they're not going to hurt your team's ability to win the game. But the biggest strength of the grubs is getting the early plates, right? So the second set of grubs here is not going to game break you.
Yeah, I love, as a jungler, I love getting grubs. Like, objectives are better than no objectives, but like I think, especially in this situation where you're not at the point where you can truly fight for them, trying to fight for them is just irresponsible. But they already get the second dragon anyway, as this fight is breaking out bottom, and Mark Cutie's in danger.
He was in danger, but they did not feel comfortable fully committing him. They already used the Zac E, so there wasn't much of a play there. I guess they could have dropped the ulti just to get a free kill, but they weren't feeling comfortable with it. Meanwhile, the mid lane, Salt will get shut down as there was a TP in from Marika. And that's a nice little play here out of the mid lane up below kennens.
I'm surprised Salt got picked off by that. I thought with the grab from the field down, he'd be able to run away. But great stun off by Marika, and then just having the damage to finish it off. It's a shutdown too, as Minus is going to pick up a plate here, and Frozen trying to get behind Mark Cutie.
That's a pretty nice hook, and nice the cancel there. But beautiful turn by McCutie with the quickness. Looks like he's going to keep himself safe. And now Frozen's in there just trying to help out the TP. Here comes the TP in. And that should be from Salt here. So kill picked up onto Frozen once again. Going over to Shanti. Nice hook. Strawberry looks like he's just going to give his life for his AD carry. What a Chad. But that will be another kill here.
That's a good support right there. Throwing his life away to save his ADC. But just discoordinated on the dive there. Frozen Ace. So he was trying to get behind them with the E into the bush, but then there was no real ability for him to follow up the Thresh going in with the hook, and then Minus really slow to grab that lantern in. It just seems like they weren't on the same page of what they wanted to do in that dive, and ends up costing them pretty dearly there.
Yeah, and now Dippy's around. He does it with all. If he wants to just harass his Zac, he can. He decides not to. Probably the right decision, but
Zac, 59 farm at 14 minutes. He's only level 7. To Shin Sao's 9. It's just very unfortunate for him. And Dippy stealing away the Raptors, so he won't even be able to get most of his jungle to help try to catch this up. Just in a very rough spot. And I've been there as a jungler. It sucks. Like you're already behind because you're playing a champion that doesn't have to quite the same early prio. Zac into Shin. Jhin wins that every time early game. And you get set so far behind that you're not able to scale to that mid game point where you can actually contest and deal with someone like that. So it's just a negative feedback loop of just constantly being behind because you know, we're behind early.
Yeah, I think for me, at that point, you just play for the farm you know you can get, and just do your best to play around the ganks that are the most free ganks. So,
Yeah,
meanwhile,
P-Dog
though,
wants this.
yeah, a full committal here from P-Dog. Forcing the flash out of Dippy. He's going to get the kill. That's a shutdown for this Camille. But now what does the Camille do? Camille has no flash. What does this play look like from P-Dog? Can P-Dog somehow pull this out? Does not look like that. No, the quick will come out just to ensure there is no escape angle. But still, nonetheless, I think that's a positive here for P-Dog.
Yeah, no, I mean, 1 for 1, he gets the shutdown. Frozen Ace might be able to catch people out here.
Yeah,
Here
nice
comes
play from Strawberry. Nice play as well. Marcuti just surviving 4 now, but here comes Frozen and flashing in, just trying to disrupt this fight. It's looking good. Salt's really, really low. Can they finish out Salt? One more Q will do it, and it will. Minus picks up the kill. And a flash in here just to try to finish off Marcuti. Does he have the ability to finish him, though? No, the E will come out just to save him in time, but a nice response here from Load the Kennens, but they did have to burn a lot just to get 1 kill off the board there.
There's a lot. They might be able to get the Herald on the back end of this to at least help mitigate it. Frozen Ace, I think there might be like he might not just understand the champion all that well. He could have he had a Q on, I think it was the Xayah, and he could have hit the blast cone to like activate the Q's ability of pulling her in. Didn't get it off though, unfortunately. This Minus is getting threatened really hard here in the mid lane.
Yeah, I think he really wanted the 2-for-1 special, and this is going to be a dead Zinzar, I believe. No, he's going to live, but oh, and the flash just missing off the EQ. That is so unfortunate. You know, Rizzy almost pulled off a little more than he should, but he is able to pick up the kill and survive, so.
I'm curious how the QE didn't hit him there. I don't know if maybe Rika just missed the ball or something, but.
Oh, they're going to turn on Ashanti. Ashanti does not have his ulti, so that's a shutdown for Rika. They're turning and they're fighting, and they have this Herald now, so they should be able to pick up the mid turret as well as fight over this Drake. And I don't know, Rusty, this game looked a little lost for them, but the gold lead, it's only 1K for the side of
yeah, it's come down even more now. So now it's down to just about 1100 with Dragon up, although a fight's coming in here.
Yeah, nice play. They're full committing here, but I mean, considering the members here, I don't think it's going to be enough. It's a 2v3, and Rizzy's going to fall. It does go to Frozen, though, so if you are the Zinzao, that's a positive, honestly. Giving a shutdown over to the Zac and not the Syndra. I know what you're probably going to say.
Yes, but it does help Zac kind of come back in this game. He was so far behind. Now he gets something to kind of give him
a flash in there from Strawberry, going to land the hook. This guy's on a mission to make sure he sets with his team, but the turn back there from Salt as Minus walks in to more or less melee range. And now Frozen walking in. Dippy has arrived. All this, and they just never took the Drake. Now what can Frozen do?
Yeah, I feel like they overgreeded trying to get, you know, the victor there. They could have just turned on the dragon and taken it. On the other hand, it is a win. 1 win versus the kill onto the victor. I understand why they did what they did. But Dippy has to TP top to stop this Camille from doing too much more damage. She dang near got that tower.
Yeah. But I mean, when I was talking about that shutdown, imagine a shutdown on a 3-1 Syndra already. I mean, that would have been massive for the Syndra. It does get the Zac back in the game, but I don't think the Zac is ever out of the game. You talked about it yourself, and I want to go back to this point for this reason. But yeah, you talked about it yourself. He's a tank, right? He's always going to do his job. So.
Yeah, I mean, that is true.
Job, though, is P-Dog going to do his job and actually get this kill? Does get Dippy pretty low, and here comes the savior. Rika TPing in once again, picking up another kill. Rika is not going down without a fight this series.
Rika fighting, trying to carry the team right now. P-Dog wants one more, not going to get it.
Oh, and no, Rika unfortunately overstepping, trying to help on that play, and Rizzy gets the shutdown.
Yeah, they get a little aggressive there, trying to dive. Get more. They might get collapsed on here mid in this 3v3.
They're just going to try to force fight on Shanti. Shanti with a beautiful ulti flash to keep himself safe. Now, what is going to happen here? Strawberry trying to kite it out. Rizzy's on top of him. Minus has just left the team behind. I almost feel like that's a bad moment, but actually they have potential of living here. So maybe this was the play. I guess Minus knew it wasn't worth it.
I mean, Minus was smart to get out of there. Once you see the collapse coming, you're not winning that free 3v3. He was smart to just cut and run. But the Strawberry and Milk had an insane... Him and Frozen Eighth both just completely combo. Although Strawberry's caught out now. I don't know what he was doing. I have to go back and see, but it seemed like he was out. I don't know what he did.
He walked into there was a ward over here in Tribrush, and so they saw his pathing, but he had potential maybe if he tries to reset in that side bush there.
It seemed like he just walked away. There was no one really cutting him off. I'll have to go back and check. I'm actually gonna go back and check it right now, just for the viewers. We don't have the replay, but I can tell you guys if you could have gotten. Oh no, there's the Victor who TP'd and cut him off. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Speaking of plays, a beautiful E there out of Minus, and he's gonna use the barrier, but I don't know if that's gonna matter. Here comes Ririka, and again, he's gonna save him. No, he's not. A flash in from Garen to get the kill, but again, more gold onto the Syndra, and that is the last person you want to give gold to.
And Syndra now 2 very important items for her kit, the Storm Surge and the Loot, and she should be able to one-shot just about everybody at this point if she hits a full combo.
I'm going to do something I don't often do, and I think this is a testament to how good of a player he is, but that decision by Dippy there is kind of crazy, and I think it might have cost a little bit for the team here, because P-Dog was able to pick up a nice turret on the top side. It's a tier 2, so it's about 700 gold in his pocket. It's just going to make this matchup for him much harder. I don't think the flash for that kill there was worth it over the gold that the top laner just got, plus the gold onto the Syndra.
Yeah, no, I mean, trading 1 for 1 like that and having to burn your flash too. Like, yeah, you got the barrier from Minus, but barrier is not worth flash. Because the gold to the Camille is pretty important. She's now 2 items completed, whereas Dippy is not. So she does have that, and she's been, fighting very well in that top lane in the 1v1. P-Dog doing a great job taking advantage of the matchup, playing it well. And so I think that kind of makes it not a great play, not an efficient play either. And the gold lead is now non-existent. We're completely even at 37.5 for both sides. So it's going to really come down to these next 2 fights over the Dragon and Baron to see how this plays out.
And Strawberry Milk was on a bit of a ride there. It looks so funny. That put Strawberry in a bad spot. They're forced to use the Silver ulti just to get Thrush out. It will do that job there, but that's a big cooldown use.
It is, but I think it's fine. I don't think that the Silver ult has as much value, only because Zac and Camille both have abilities that get them forward, so you don't need. It's not like you're playing someone like a Darius who needs help running forward.
Nice knock up here on a Frozen. What's the fight gonna look like now? Is there's 3 members caught out here. Rika is trying to join up with the team, and here's a flash from Arizzi sticking on the Strawberry. He is pretty tanky though. They should have been able to kill him. Here's a flash in here from Marcuti. Marcuti's going down low. It's a double kill for this Victor. This is gonna more than likely be a triple kill. Yes, Salt's going off in these fights here, and a bit of an overstep from Red Side, who had themselves in a prime position to be in this game. I know maybe you're looking at the kills, you're feeling like you have to really pressure this game, but they weren't even down goal.
They were even. They were even, yeah. They were even despite being down 8 kills, and now they're going to go down 3 kills and the Baron. It's going to be a huge gold swing. It just seemed like Frozen Ace again got caught out, just trying too hard to posture in the river, and he just gets run down by the Xin Sao. This is going to be a big loss. They might be able to recoup Dragon on the back end. We'll see. But, from an even game to down, we'll call it 2.5, is a big swing for just one small misstep, trying to make a play that didn't need to be made.
Yeah, especially because Rika really could not get there. He's in a really, really bad spot. But I will say, going on to Soul Point here, that is pretty big, as there's pretty much no chance where he gets in. He might have potential if he goes towards the wall, but he doesn't, so they will not get it. They should really get out here, but this is going to turn here onto Minus. Interesting decision, but yeah, the rest of the team should be able to exit safely, so I'm going to say that's a net positive overall, considering how bad it could have been.
No, it's still very much a negative. They went from even to down. Yeah, they're on Soul Point, but I mean, Cloud is a good soul, right? But I don't know how helpful it's going to be when you're already losing fights as you are. But we'll see. I mean, it does help with the pick potentially. Ult, kill somebody, get out. But I think it was just a bad play, and
yeah, I think when I say net positive, I'm looking at it from the front of like the actual play itself at the back end there, right? I think it's in a positive burning the Jin's Out ulti for a Drake. I think that's a win, right? So, no, I'm definitely not talking
But
about the
Shinsa
burn.
ult is really, it's because his Q helps preset the cooldown. Like it's already back up. You know, I don't know. I think it's still very much a negative. Like they helped, you know, stem the bleeding a little bit. You know, they went from needing a tourniquet to needing, you know, a couple pounds of gauze, but still very much hurting. Especially as these minions come in, they're gonna be threatening a tier 2, trying to help swing this gold even more, which is now sitting at 3.5k.
Yeah, but they're also in a turret. They might be taking a fight here if they want to commit, but no, they decide not to. I think that 44 had potential, if you ask me, but they didn't want it. Might be the safer option just because they do have Baron. They could end the game there, so.
Yeah, just respecting it, you know, trying to trade out here. Strawberry taking a one victory just does that much damage. Ugh. You know, not what you want to see. He is getting strong, that Victor. He's at 2 items, might be putting his third on back. We'll see. Not quite, but he's gonna get 2 rods, so he's gonna hit like a freight train.
Yo, what's up, Marth? Haven't seen you in a while, my friend. AKA Keen. It's nice to see you in here. One to the minus Jin. Yeah, don't we all? The minus Sivir is good. He's had some good games on it this split. Sivir's been a pretty strong champion. So, I think...
He's got quite a lot of farm, too. I mean, he's up 50, so doing it very well here.
Yeah, if you look at the gold here, he's actually up almost a full 1,000 gold as well. So, I think the Sivir, it was a fine angle here.
Yeah, no, I mean, let's see. Top lane, they're up about, what, 1,500? Not even, no, they're up like 800, 900. Jungle, they're down 3,500. So most of the gold lead is really just the jungle, because we've got 11.3k on the Shinsao to 7.8k on the Zac. So most of that is just the jungle diff in terms of gold. I'm not flaming, I promise. Just me and gold. But yeah, so that is good news, right? Because it means the rest of your carriers are still, you know, right there. You know, Victor's at 3 items, Syndra's 2.5, so she's right there with them. Minus 2 items, and probably sitting on he's sitting on another component here, so minus is about equal. So it's very playable, very fightable here for the kennens still. It's just going to come down to this next dragon. And honestly, they could very well just sack this next dragon. If they prep waves appropriately, I'd love to see them make a run for that tier 2 bot or an inhib tower and just sack, because, you know, 2 Cloud Drakes, not the end of the world, right? Like, yes, Soul would be great, but so would getting an inhibitor to help alleviate a lot of pressure. So I think that there is an avenue for them to make a play that's not going after this dragon in 113.
No, I get the goof on this. I think Jin's still pretty strong in the right circumstances. And in this comp, it could have had good success as well. A cancel there on the Rizzy. A beautiful cancel there from Rizzy down to P-Dog. And all of a sudden now this fight is looking in favor of blue side here, but Mariko's doing his best to kite it out. Oh, but a flash there from Rizzy's going to be able to get the kill. P-Dog in the back was trying to fight, but he's going to fall. Man, that was just 2 beautiful interactions.
Dude, Rizzy just showing that he might rival Faker in terms of mechanics. That was gorgeous. Great cancel on the ult, and then multiple plays to just get his W setups to get onto that Syndra. Just insane plays by him. Beautiful. That might have just turned the game from equal to ending at this point.
Yeah, they're definitely they're shoving down mid here. They're gonna take the inhibitor. The Sivir is still up, can defend the base, but I just don't know if it's enough. Well, there's a beautiful double there from our cutie to turn that fight immediately in the favor of blue side here. And Frozen is getting chunked down by this Victor ult. He's going to go into his blob form. And unfortunately, Rusty, I think this is probably going to be the game as the Zac will fall. Rarika did respond, but the Nexus is the focus. And that's going to be a GG and a 2-0 victory for Sad Jellyfish.
Yeah, Jellyfish played beautifully this game. You know, the kennens, they seem to, other than that fight for second grubs, I'm very happy with how they played the game almost as a whole. Like, you know, there's a couple other small things, but I think that was like really the big mistake is that second grubs. They fought for no reason. And then obviously that last fight, can't even blame the kennens. They had a great pick. Like everyone in the world, she'd be like, hey, we have surrounded the Shinsao, we canceled the blast going, he's cooked, it's over. But Rizzy just played it absolutely perfectly, stayed alive, got kills. Like, I mean, the team got there just in time to help him out. I mean, beautiful from him. That was a game-winning play by him, and you can't even fault the Kennens for trying to make it because all of us would have made that same play thinking we'd caught somebody out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was if you look at the whole play. First, it starts with a beautiful cancel there from Marika, right? So again, it looks fantastic. But then the the flip side of that is the ability of Rizzy to cancel P Dog jumping in. If P Dog gets in there onto that Jinzao, the Jinzao is dead. No chance, right? But there's that beautiful ulti cancel with the Crescent. I forget what the name is. Crescent something. Do you know the name of Jinzao ulti off the top of your head? It's Crescent
Um,
something. I just can't think of the
I thought
exact
it
name.
was something about a challenge. I don't remember the name off the top of my head.
Crescent Challenge, maybe? That might be what it is. But nonetheless, it was a beautiful cancel there onto the Camille E and kept Camille from getting into the fight, which also made her vulnerable there on the backside to the Garen and I believe the Zaya, who ended up just killing her for free. So, yeah, I mean, Rizzy absolutely MVP'd that last fight, without a doubt.
No, it definitely was. It was beautiful. And then he had a flash when Wind becomes Lightning and Syndra flashes it and then he flashes her flash to make sure it still lands. Otherwise, I think there would have been enough damage from Marika to blow up someone and maybe that fight goes different. So just beautiful display of micro skill there and technical prowess. So it was beautiful. It was fun to watch. Heck of a series though. I mean, Jellyfish showed why they're one of the strongest teams in this league. Just complete game one, just completely dismantling the Kennens, and then game two, battling through a good fight. The Kennens put up a pretty solid fight that second game, and we're very much there for most of it, and then just coming in at the very end to win it all. It was very beautiful.
Yeah. Should we try to see if we can get anybody in from Sad Jellyfish for a little interview? Would you be interested in that, Rusty?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's interview somebody.
All right. I don't know if anyone's in the chat, but I can message.
There were 4 of them sitting in their chat still, so.
I know, but I try not to jump in too often and disrupt. So I'll just ask them, and if they want one, then we'll either hop in with them or they will hop in with us.
For sure.
But yeah, I mean, it was definitely a great series from Sad Jellyfish here, and you talked about it. They've historically been one of the better teams in the league. I know this split has been more rough for them, but that's just a testament to the teams that we've had. We've had some great teams this split across all 3 groups. So it's been very interesting to see, and some of the the old head teams have been shut down out here. We've been put in our place a bit, some of us, right? So it's certainly been fun to watch.
Yeah, no, it has. No, it's a testament to the growth of the league as a whole, and everyone just getting a little bit better. So yeah, no, I mean it's great to see, but they're a team that no one really wants to have to play, especially come playoff times. Like they're going to be good, they're going to fight for you, make you fight for it rather. So it's one of those things. We'll just see how it goes, but.
Yo, what's up, guys?
What's going
Hello,
on?
hello.
How you doing, my friend?
Quite well. Happy with the win. Big smile on my face.
That's what's important. That's what's important. Yeah, it was a really, really good win by you guys there. You guys had a sub jungler in today. Let's actually start with him. Is Rizzy somebody you guys personally know, or is it just like you found him off the bench?
So a lot of us, we were asking around for subs, and we could literally find no one. So Salt, by default, basically went through his entire friends list and just started messaging junglers. And Rizzy was like, "Yeah, I'll play." So we just slotted him in.
Nice. Yeah, he looked to synergize well with the team too. So.
Yeah, I think he's an aggressive jungler, and that works well with me. So we were able to synergize pretty well. Plus, he's got good communication as well.
Nice. How did that change as far as the pools go? Because I know obviously Haku plays some J4, but I can't remember if I think I've seen Haku play Jinzao. But nonetheless, did that change anything up with the complexity of drafting for you guys?
I think their pools are pretty much the same. I think he plays a little bit more AP jungle with Elise, Rizzy does, but their core champs are pretty similar, so it was an easy slot.
Okay, so pretty much it was almost like you're swapping the same person basically. What happened?
Yeah, honestly, pretty much. It felt like having Mark. It was pretty comparable, I would say.
Nice. Well, I'm glad that slotted in well for you guys. Rusty, do you have any specific questions you'd like to ask our guest here?
Yeah, so both games, you guys heavily focus those early skirmishes around the grubs. You don't have to give me, team secrets or anything, but like, was that like kind of pre-planned in terms of like that's what you guys like to do? Is that more of a knowing that you guys? It seemed like they kept trying to contest you with fights at those grubs, and every single time it went poorly because you guys just had the better early game. Was that like a result of you guys knowing you had the better early game and trying to force them, or is that more of just a game plan type thing?
Yeah, so it depends a lot on draft. Like obviously because we have a stronger comp early, we're gonna force grubs because it's like higher value as an objective. So we had talked about it before the game started as like what was win condition. In the first game they drafted really hyperscaling, so we wanted to contest every single objective, regardless of where it was happening on the map. And then for game two, we were fine with 6 grubs, 2 drakes. Like that was the trade we wanted to make. I think a lot of the time, especially with the first game when you're playing double AP mage bot lane, you would expect there to be a grub fight, but Strawberry Milk didn't rotate as fast. Like they weren't prepared, I think. And because they weren't prepared ahead of time, they suffered for it in the sense that we were there first, we had vision, and we're just able to take it.
Yeah, no, you guys' rotates were very good throughout both games, especially your support Marcuti. He was just everywhere all at once, it seemed. Um, in that second game, you guys were more or less even right up until the fight before you guys take Baron. Did you guys feel like you were up like I think it was 8 or 9 kills, but it still was even gold? Did that feel like an even game at that point, or did you guys feel like you had a lead and that was just like something that ended up happening?
No, I think we knew we were ahead pretty hard. Like even though maybe the gold lead might have felt even, I think our comp scaled better than theirs did. Their Sivir was so offline that um it wasn't like a huge effect. Obviously Sivir's still great with utility, but they didn't have anyone to kill our front line. Especially if like, if the 2 top laners are in the side lane, there's no one to stop the Xin Zhao.
Yeah, he was the
Yeah.
Zinzao pick there was a menace. I do want to slightly disagree in the sense that you couldn't stop the Zinzao. I think they had enough to stop the Zinzao. I think more of what it was, I think you guys just had a perfect synergy set up with Rakan Zinzao together, and then obviously the follow up from your 2 carries. Because if you swap your support out for something different, I could see a world where Zinzao could struggle more. But like anytime they tried to jump on Zinzao and make his life miserable, even in those 4v4 fights, then you just come in real quick with the quickness and turn everything on its head, right? So that was the biggest thing, and I think that's just a really good synergy picks there. And so
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Rakan definitely helps like accelerate the Xin Zhao pick. The only thing is that it's like if you look at the enemy comp, Syndra has a really hard time killing Xin,
Mhm.
and most of their gold was on the Syndra. So it's like hard to burst him when he ulties as a mage because there's no way you want to get that close. And if you ever do get that close, you're getting instantly engaged on by the Rakan. So I think mechanically, if the situations are played differently, I do agree. Like Xin could have a harder time. They have tools to stop him, but luckily Rizzy's just a strong mechanical player. This is the first time we ever played together, so I didn't know he was that good, but
Yeah, no,
definitely
that
showcased
last
it.
fight especially really showed it. It looked like he was picked off. They had 3 guys converging on him, and he tried to blast Canaan and was stopped, but then he just refused to die, and y'all were to save him. What was the comms like as he's kind of getting picked off? Is he calling for you guys to come in? He's saying, "Hey, we've got this," or is it more of like you're worried that he's about to get picked off there?
Well, the only reason he went that play was because I called for him to flank because they were
Mhm.
overextended bot lane. So we were looking to pincer. He walked over a ward, which I didn't know was there, but which gave them the engage. Like if that wasn't warded, I don't think Zach would be there and Syndra would just die.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, he just ulted at the right time.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful play and beautiful game. I mean, congrats to you guys. Nice, solid 2-0 victory. Are you guys excited to? There's one more week, right? Are you excited for your last week matchup, or are you kind of looking on to playoffs now? Because I'm pretty sure you're
I
locked up to playoffs.
So I think the team we were supposed to play forfeit, so we don't have a last week matchup.
Okay.
So we'll just see if we're going into playoffs or not. I'm not sure if we are. It depends on which teams win and which teams lose.
yeah,
Fair enough.
I mean, if we want to do the fun checking here, I can double check. I'm pretty sure you guys are locked in. I can take a peek since we're talking about it. Give me a second to get there. Okay, so let me go to standings real quick. So let's see. Yeah, so you have the tiebreaker over both Peanut Butter and Jelly and the kennens. So I think you guys should be safe then. Yeah, there should be no way to get you guys kicked out. So basically, The last spot will be played. I think it's actually between PB and J Lo the Kennens this week coming up, week 5.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. So it's a pretty close bracket.
Yeah. So if you guys didn't win, there could have been some shenanigans, but you getting the dub there secures your guys' path to the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm happy we won this week. Last week I wasn't able to play, which kind of sucked, or like 2 weeks ago, whenever it was.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks because like obviously it sucks to see your team lose when you're not able to be there. But luckily we got to win this game, this series, and hopefully we do well in the playoffs. We'll see. We had a good run last split, so hopefully we have a good one this one as well.
Yeah. I think the only thing that sucks for you guys, and it's kind of where we're at too. We're sitting out for 3 weeks basically. You guys are now going to sit for at least 2 weeks, right? And that's a big deal. I think for teams sometimes you're losing that momentum. You're building up. With that said, though, nothing. You get out there, practice. Some should be fine, right? And your matchup could also help that if you guys get. I don't want to say anyone's easy, but a favorable matchup would be the word I would use in the first round of playoffs. That can help
Yes.
a lot. So, but yeah. Other than that, I got nothing else to say or ask, and I think Rusty, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I
Okay.
look forward to seeing you guys for the rest of the year, and I'm sure it'll be a good series.
Yeah, thanks for
Get to
casting,
play.
guys. Appreciate
Of
it.
course. Thanks for coming on as always to talk a little game.
No problem. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks so much.
All right, later, Marky.
GG's.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to be heading off then, and so is Rusty. I want to thank Rusty for coming on and co-casting with me today. Unfortunately, I cannot cast the next series. I am actually playing in it, so maybe we'll be able to get somebody on to do so. But that will be taking place in 30 minutes. But yeah, I'm subbing in for Dyslexic Defenders, and so it's going to be Dyslexic Defenders versus Team Ghost, which can have a lot of impact on how Group C also plays out. So thanks again, guys, and we will see you soon. GG.
GG's.